Oh my god! Nuclear holocaust on the drones!
Hello guys and welcome to UC Davis StarCraft. This is Alpha Ferg and I'm going to be casting an exciting best of 3 between IMP Tbeezy and FG Future. And so this is a best of 3. It was played in the Playhem last week, earlier this week. I want to say March 7th. Cool, this was played on March 7th. I just decided it was so, and it's close enough to being right, and it doesn't really matter. So Playhem, best of 3, this is a round of 8. So Tim, let me give some background on the Playhem. Fortune, by the way, is a Protoss player. The Playhem is like a daily tournament played in the EU and then alternating in the North American ladder. And it's pretty good. They get lots of Korean pros who show up to them. They get lots of really good players who show up, people practicing out new builds, people just trying. If you win it, you get a pretty small prize pool. It's like maybe $75 total for first, second, and third. But you know what? It happens daily, so you can't really complain. So if you're looking to compete, feel free to go into there. I know they have like billions of replays. Definitely good stuff. I enjoy watching it. You only get a couple hundred, maybe 500 for the finals viewers, but it happens daily, so you can't really complain. And you start, you know, however many people sign up, it usually, I think, is somewhere between 128, 64, maybe 32 on a slow day. And Tim made it all the way to the round of 8, so Tim, pretty good player. Let's take a look at what's going on. Just like seeing the EPM. So, FG Future is the blue Protoss, and this is going to be on Tal'darim Altar. And sometimes you can forge fast expand because of this pretty narrow choke. It does have a ramp, but it looks like instead he is just getting out a gateway and doing an early cyber core. I wouldn't be surprised to see his first army unit be a stalker. Meanwhile, Tim is going for a fast barracks, no sort of fast expand, no sort of proxy anything. He's just doing some smart scouting and chasing away this first scouting probe from Future. Oh, never mind, he's going to get a Zealot first. That's okay. You can pretty much open fairly safe as Protoss as long as you're building stuff. It's only until about the 5-minute mark when you realize you've built like 30 gateways and no units, or something stupid. Good players will always just get some sort of army unless they see something scary, in which case they'll get like sentries to defend a push or something like that. But it looks like Tim is opting to fast expand. I really like this decision, especially on this map. It's a pretty long rush distance. And so FG Future is setting up to 4-gate if he chooses to. We'll see the gateways go down in a minute or so. And he should be chrono boosting this if he's 4-gating, so he's probably not. I don't know much about FG Future. He does have a semi-proxy pylon, but it might just be for position and map control and stuff like that. Tim getting out an early bunker and going all the way up to 3 racks. And you can see FG Future definitely not 4-gating. There is the Nexus. And getting lots of probes and pylons. Probes and pylons, probes and pylons. 23 probes to Tbeezy's 23, or 20. But he does have mules in addition, and he'll have 2 orbital commands, which I love, just for lots of mules. And you can see this SCV here is giving Tim the perfect scout. He knows... Oh, he did not see the second assimilator going up. But that's okay, because really what he saw was this, and that is going to shape the tone of this game. He knows he's not going to have to fight an insane all-in. He can focus a little bit on economy. You can see getting up refineries, not, you know, going crazy defensive mode. Both players will have pretty free reign on what they're doing right now. And it looks like Fortune is going to do a push right now, just a small push. He's not going to go all in. He's just going to test the front and see what's there. And Stalkers are great to do it with because of their range. Of course, 2 bunkers. He's not going to throw the Stalkers away. But both players are going to have a nice economy as their bases get saturated and so on and so forth. I like this. on this map, walling it. I think there is still a gap there, but just in case something crazy DTs, it's nice to have the ability to do something even later on in the game when you're trying to fight off something in your main or in your natural trying to get into your main. You never know, and where are you going to put supply depots anyway, like around the mineral line, scouting out your main. Actually, you should scout out your main with the supply depot right here, but here we go. Let's see, look at this force, a Zealot, 5 Stalkers, and 2 Sentries. He'll warp in some more. And Tim has a decent defense. Here comes the push. And pulling SCVs just to make sure you don't die. That's good. That's fine. He has a lot of SCVs. I'm not sure this push is going to go anywhere. This bunker is in a nice position. Accidentally unloading it to get the Marauder in there is smart. The Marauder just has so much range, and I think Future is not going to try to push his luck. Yeah, Marauders and Bunkers are really good. I'm thinking about doing a challenge of the week about it, just because they get a bonus range, and they already have 6 range. So 7 range bunkers that do bonus damage to armored, I think is pretty good against Protoss. And I've seen some holds, some pretty epic holds against like Roaches with it, because Roaches' range are just, it's 4 against 7 range bunker Marauders that can stim. It's pretty good, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but let's talk about this game instead. And Future is just getting a ton of units, and it looks like he's going to go early Colossi. Not going to do any sort of Templar, Stargate, or, I don't know, Immortal push. But here is the first Colossus coming out, and he should be trying to get extended thermal lance soon. He doesn't have the gas quite yet. We'll see if he chooses to do that with his next 200 gas. Instead getting a Sentry. Taking on the rocks, and it looks like he's going to try to get his third. And Tim, in case you didn't know, has built, I didn't know because I just realized it now, has built a super proxy expansion out here. And I like to call this proxy fast expand, but he did it after this, so it's really a proxy third. But I really like this, especially against Protoss, because look, has he even scouted anywhere south of here? No. He has no idea what's going on in any of these bases, and there are 7, 8 bases in this region that he can, you know, expand to, and Tim just chose this one. And scouting out, oh, that was scouting out the main. So yeah, so Tim is going to be able to use mules down here. Smartly, you don't want to move SCVs, because if they get spotted, it's an instant tell, and the Protoss is going to punish the shit out of you for it. But he is getting this expand here, and he's only got that initial SCV here that built the command center, and he's just going to have that much more income. And he can put up refineries, you know, he can put up anything really, but you just don't want to give it away. And you can see this probe is totally going to scout it. Really smart decision by FG Future. I think this kind of play is getting more popular, so scouting out for this kind of stuff is smart. But as Tim is attacking right now, FG Future is not going to be able to punish it, even if he does scout it out. And that's going to be, okay, that's going to be definitely enough to pick out this. There's no Vikings on the map. Not even sure there's a starport. Oh, never mind, there's a medevac right there. But these Colossi are going to do a lot of damage, and Tim's going to have to run away. But that's okay. And here is, see, this is why Protoss, man. You can just warp in Zealots almost immediately. I don't even know if Tim knows he got scouted yet. But this base is nice, because you can also just lift it up. Okay, Stalkers, that's good too. Focusing down the mules, yeah. So Tim is just going to lift off and run away, and he got, you know, not a small amount of minerals. You can see some of these mineral patches have taken a lot of damage in the form of less minerals. But this unfortunate command center is not going to be able to save itself. But Tim now is just going to take his third like he wants to, and he already has the SCVs to make that a reality. And you can actually just lose it. Command center. I guess you could float it out here and try to save it, or land it up here and have the Stalkers run around and then, you know, play Wacka command center. But it's okay. Tim is getting his 3 base economy as planned, And let's see his production. So he's got Vikings on the way. Look at that. Double Vikings to protect against the Colossi. Tons of racks. My god, that's a lot of racks. But he was on 3 base there, and now he's back on 3 base. Meanwhile, it looks like there's going to be some charge lot Colossi play, which I like. The charge lots can kind of lock the bio in place. You got sentries for force fields to make it so the army can't micro against the Colossi, and the Colossi just do a ton of damage. But if Tim gets enough Vikings, he should be able to smash that kind of force, because once the Colossi are down, there's not too much damage going out aside from the charge lots, and there's 6 and charge isn't even done. There are 5 stalkers, but that's actually not very much. I do like this use of just scanning around the map. Not sure why that charge lot's there, but you can just see preventing, trying to get knowledge about where bases are going down. This is a smart third, but of course Protoss can put a pylon right here and warp directly into it to do damage. And I think Tim's going to try to push. At least do some damage with the Vikings. Very smart because of their extended range. And Future's going to have to pull back into his base, and this drop right here in the very back of the third is going to pull Future's army away, and he's going to have to split his army. There's only one Colossus up here. The Colossus could be taken out. There are some cannons there to defend, and it looks like Future's going to shield in his main. This drop is pretty much gone. The cannons were well used there. And the Colossi isn't going to die, but it does take half its life damage. Not really worth it. But Tim's Bioforce, not too bad. How many workers did he kill there? It looks like in total there's only been 9 workers killed, so he didn't kill very many at all. But he did totally throw Future. Future prepared against that very well. He knew if he could micro the one Colossi using the cannons as a defense, he could face the whole drop without losing too much, without losing the Colossus, and then he could use the rest of his army to fight the push. So here is what we also have now. Storm for Future. And that is going to be great against Bio. And what is Tim going to do? Well, this proxy base is already doomed, and Tim is nice getting up a planetary fortress at the 4th. I like that decision, just in case things are warped in, just in case the same thing happens that happened down here. Tim can prevent against that. And look at this, having these Marines all around the map. He knows when these bases are expanding. He can just drop this base on his way to another drop over here or something, and he should be fine. A smart High Templar here. You can use that feedback to do a lot of damage to the medevac. Interestingly, using a Hallucinate Scout right now. He might try... No, there would be no reason to get Phoenix. See, and Tim even scans the army. He knows there's no Void Rays or anything. No Phoenix. I don't think he would imagine there's any sort of Stargate play going on. So there definitely isn't. But here is the point of contention, because Tim's 4th is pretty safe right here. Can just reinforce his army. His army's way out on the map. But Future's slower army actually has a lot longer to go around this kind of bulky area. This is the more natural expansion, but it's right next to Tim's base, and you definitely don't want to do that. Oh no, losing these Vikings. They might be able to take out most of the health on a Colossus, but not quite there. And here is... will they engage? These Stalkers are chasing down. This Marauder is not having a great day. And there's the early stim, not fighting with all of his army. Tim losing a big chunk there. And I don't know, he has hallucinated Colossi here. He's going to wait till he gets up the ramp, but he's focusing down some of the hallucinated ones. He's losing a ton of Vikings. There are only 2 Colossi left. They have pretty much no